Hello. It's been a while since we've done some FIFA things. Yeah, the old career mode's not going on, but I just want to say, for those who were watching and have clicked on this video and have seen my career mode videos before, Asal became a world beater. I had it all filmed, and then obviously the career mode sort of like dropped off towards the end of last season. Asal actually came back off loan and played in the Champions League for Sheffield Wednesday, and you're never going to see it because we didn't reach the like totals. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and support the FIFA 23 career mode. Long live Asal. He actually made it. But yes, I've started this video with a reference to it. Only some people will get this, and some people clicking on pure curiosity. FIFA 23 is arriving very shortly, and they have released the database, which means we get the Sheffield Wednesday rating. So it is time to look at them in pain again. Okay, so we're going to start in net with our current number one, even though we've not actually got a number one. So he's not number one, but it's David Stockdale. He has got a 68 silver card with 68 diving, 66 handling, 68 kicking, 70 reflexes, 30 speed, and 67 positioning with a 3-star weak foot there. Now, that's not bad for a keeper. He will decline in career mode, but in terms of Ultimate Team, if you're going to use him for the season, not too bad. He's definitely one to get you out of League One. He also seems to have the long throw and comes for crosses traits. So that will be useful. He definitely does come for crosses. He also plays it out from the back. Scarily sometimes. What's fantastic about this card is it is an upgrade for David Stockdale. So we're starting on a positive. He was a 67 rated keeper for Wycombe last season. And even in his mid-30s, he has got a +1 because he got keeper of the season. He had the most, well, was he keeper of the season? I know he got Golden Glove. Not the same thing technically, but he got the Golden Glove in League One last season, which has bumped him up from 67 to 68. His stats last season was 66 diving, 64 handling, so there's a +2 on both of those. His kicking was at 69 last season. That's dropped actually to 68. His reflexes have gone up 1 to 70 from 69. His speed has stayed the same at 30, and his positioning has got slightly better, 66 to 67, so not too bad. Cameron Dawson, our bench keeper at the minute, obviously had a great loan at Exeter last season. Last season he was rated 66. He goes and plays an absolute blinder for Exeter, gets him promoted. He gets dropped to, and he's no longer a silver card, and he's a 64 rated bronze. Seems about fair. I mean, technically, I guess he's a rare bronze if that's the rare symbol now, but he did so well at Exeter, and they've downgraded him. Right, we will start at our lowest rated centre-back. Now, that is this year the same rating as Cameron Dawson, Ben Hennigan, at 64 overall. He is not a player you will be using unless you are trying to develop him in career mode, but I don't think with 43 pace, he would be somebody you would be using anyway, if I'm completely honest. He's pretty much stayed the same as last season, apart from having his pace attacked and his physicality. His physicality has gone up 2. His pace has been dropped by 3. And we all know you need pace on this game to keep up with everybody on the counter. Our next player up is Famiao, who has obviously come to us from Norwich this season. He was actually 55 2 seasons ago on FIFA 20 as a youngster there. He got a 65 card last season. He has remained 65 on his permanent transfer to Sheffield Wednesday. His stats have stayed pretty much the same, apart from the fact he has now got 51 dribbling instead of 49 and 74 physical instead of 71. No traits to mention, but he will be decent, actually. With his, I'm looking in the meta now, his acceleration 75, sprint C 72, 3-star weak foot, 2-star skills, obviously, it's centre-back. But use him in career mode. That's all I'm going to say. He's 23, I believe, Famiao. Definitely one for career mode. A 65 rated starter. He will rise and rise and rise, and you will be sorted if you use him in your career mode. Making his debut at centre-back is Liam Palmer next up, who has had a downgrade. He had arguably one of his best seasons with us ever last season. He started this season on absolute fire, and they've downgraded him from 68 to 66. Oh, what have they done? They've upped his pace. His pace has gone from 75 to 77. His shooting stayed the same at 58. He's actually started scoring. And they've got him as a centre-back, bear in mind here. And his physicality has gone up by 77, so his stats Has there been there must have been a shift in the meta somewhere. Where's he been? He's got an early crosser trait. I'm just wondering where he's been killed on it. But he's got. I think this might be one of the ones where the alternate position is going to be a big thing in Ultimate Team this season. With he's a centre back, but his alternate position will be right wing back because he's played that before, and I think that will tie into position shifting in career mode as well. So I think that would be all right. I'm just looking at FootWiz because I wanted to look into the Palmer thing a little bit more, and it says he will actually be a 66 no matter where you slot him along that back line, even in central defensive midfield, even as a left midfielder, right midfielder. So in game, pretty versatile player. 31, he'll definitely do you for that first season in League One, and maybe a bit in Ultimate Team if you're building a Wednesday squad out, as I often do. If you're into silver teams, you would have loved this man last season. Dominic Iorfa is down to 67 from 70, and I can't say at the minute going on current form, it's not unwarranted. I hope he gets back. They always have that thing for him. His temporary class is permanent. Fully backing him to get back there at some point. He was a beast, right? If you had a silver team, last season he had 81 pace. His pace has not really been killed. He's got 80 pace, but his shooting stayed the same. His passing has dropped 3 from 58 to 55. His dribbling has dropped from 61 to 57. His defending has dropped from 70 to 67. And his physicality, which is a pretty big thing there, has dropped from 76 to 70, which would probably explain the -3 on the overall. But his pace is still, acceleration is still 79, sprint speed 81. His physicality, his strength is 84, so it's not too bad. He is injury prone. Did he have that last season? Can I see if he had that trait last season? He did not have that trait last season. He's now got the injury prone trait. Great. Mark McGuinness, who is a 67 rated silver on this game, going up from 64 on FIFA 22. He was a bronze last season. His pace has stayed the same at 54. 35 shooting is the same. His passing's gone up 1 to 47. Dribbling stayed the same at 56. Defending has gone up 1 to 65. And his physicality has took a massive jump, which is fair because this man is very sturdy, apart from the fact he's currently injured. But on the ball, very decent. 77 physicality, up from 69 physicality. So not bad for Mark McGuinness there. And he is one I'm definitely going to use and do that loan to buy option if it still exists in the game, because it will be useful. But one for your ultimate team, maybe not. 54 pace. His strength is 86, by the way. 86. And he's jumping 71. That's not bad. Our final centre-back on this list is Michael Owekwe, who is a 69 overall, rated silver. I do want to mention before we do anything, he's got the leadership trait, which is going to be massive. I will say, he's had to downgrade, guys. Again, no, he didn't get a team of the season. He did get a team of the season in FIFA 20. That was a while ago now. But he did play for a promoted side, and he's been downgraded from 70 to 69 overall. He's lost 2 pace, 70 to 68. His shooting stayed the same at 36. Let's just look at the stats that matter. So the defending stayed the same, and the physicality stayed the same. His dribbling's dropped 1 to 56, but it's killed him in the meta there, really. His pace, 65, acceleration, 70, sprint speed. He's definitely someone you still want to use because he's not bad, to be fair. He won't be slow, and he's 6'1". His strength is 8. We've got a strong lot of centre-backs in this game, by the way, which is what you want. 83 rated strength. Jumping 85, get him in the box. Hang on, what is his headers? 69. Nice. Get him in the box. Stamina 79. Michael Owekwe, not a bad one there. I still don't see why he needed a downgrade, but FIFA seems to be doing that. Again, definitely didn't downgrade, did he? I had to get that one in before it was in the comments. Right, let's go to our fullback / wingback / wherever Darren Moore wants to play them. And we start with Jaden Brown, who is a 62 rated left wingback, bronze card in this game. No traits to speak of. His pace is at 78, which is not bad, actually. He looks like he's sort of stayed the same at that, really, in terms of the meta, anyway. But he's gone up 3, actually. 75 pace to 78. I'm quite surprised at that, given he's actually dropped an overall 3 from 65 last year. Interesting to see the way it's affected him, really, there in game. But, again, a younger player, 23 years old, you can probably utilise him, but I don't know, this downgrade kind of makes him an awkward start point for when you're trying to get promoted out of League One in career and maybe a bronze. I don't play that like bronze teams. I don't really use Ultimate Team that much. I have a play for a while and then I get bored and think I'm not spending money on this. Jack Hunt is at 66 overall, a massive downgrade from 69 overall to 66 this season. His pace has dropped from 76 to 69, shooting 52 to 41, passing 62 to 60, dribbling 67 to 64, defending 65 to 61, and physicality 68 to 66. You know, when I said his legs has gone on the podcast, and they were definitely going. He's still a speed dribbler. He's still got the speed dribbler trait, and he's still got the early crosser trait. So I don't know what's going on with Jack Hunt, but it's a downgrade there. Marvin Johnson, another one to take a downgrade, and he's actually moved position in game. He's now left wing back. He was a left midfielder in the last game. 84 pace has gone to 75. That hurts in game. 60 shooting has gone up to 61. His passing stayed the same at 63. His dribbling has dropped, even though he's a great technical player in terms of beating a man. Let's not talk about some of the defending this season. Reece James, the Blackpool Reece James, has had a low knee, obviously, has got a +1. He's 68 rated this season. His pace has stayed the same at 76. His shooting stayed the same at 51. Passing the same, dribbling the same, defending has stayed the same, and everything has stayed the same, but he's got an overall +1, which usually means there's something in the meta. I'm not going to pick it out, but not bad. He is definitely one you want to use. Again, he's a lone player, so he's difficult for career mode, but as a card, he's probably the one you're sticking in at left wing back at the minute if you're using him in Ultimate Team. And that's it for our defenders, because we don't have anyone who technically sits at the right back or right wing back position on the game, even though there will be some with secondary positions, so odd one there. But let's move into the midfield, and we'll just do central midfielders and central defensive midfielders together. We're going to start with our lowest rated, Dennis Adeniran, 62 overall. He's got a downgrade, and I understand because of the injuries, but he was already massively underrated. That hurts. His pace has gone up 70 from 65. His shooting stayed the same, 56. Do not agree with that. Passing's dropped 1 to 57. Dribbling's dropped 1 to 62. Defending stayed the same, and physicality stayed the same. But why have they downgraded him? And he's got dives into tackles trait. That one's annoyed me. Less room for growth now in career mode. I'll still use him, but not fair. Our next lowest rated midfielder is Fisayo Deli Bashru. You know that man who keeps scoring all those screamers? I mean, he's a terrible player. Transfers, team, you don't need him at the end of the season. It's fine. He has had an upgrade, though. So he was 58 rated last season. He is definitely someone you can work with his age, because he's now a 63 rated central midfielder with 71 pace, 55 shooting, 59 passing, 65 dribbling, 55 defending, and 73 physical. That 73 physical is a jump from 66. And it's the same with the pace. 71 has jumped from 66. So not too bad there. If you can get him to develop properly as well, in-game stats, 71 acceleration, 71 sprint speed, strength at 78. There's room for growth there. Definite room for growth, because he's 21 years old, remember? 3-star weak foot, 2-star skills. Get him in career mode. He's the one you stick in the middle and you just pump all the experience into, and he will be your midfield runner, pretty much. And he's still in his Man City kit on the FIFA card. Next in the midfield for us, George Byers has had a downgrade, and they've kind of killed him in a way, because they've taken... He's dropped 1 overall to 65 from 66, but his pace has dropped from 65 to 59. That one hurts. His shooting's gone up to 61, and his passing's dropped again to 61 from 62. His dribbling's gone down 1 to 66. Defending's dropped 1 to 55, and physicality's gone up 1. So that pace killer, it's the pace in this game. Don't feel like he deserved it, but you know. Then we've got Wednesday's new signing, Tyreek Backerson. He has actually got the long shot trait, so the distance shooter thing. One of those, so that won't be too bad. His pace has been downgraded from 65 to 60, which isn't ideal. His overall rating stayed the same. His shooting's at 58. Gone up 1 from 57. Passing, gone down 1, 60. Dribbling, gone down 1 again. Defending, stayed the same. And his physicality's had a bump, so they have increased his physicality. But again, I think he could do all right there. He's another career mode player. He's an actual Wednesday signing as well. He's a permanent, so 23 years old. Get him in your sides. His alternate position is central defensive midfield as well. Next up is a weird one and shows how lazy sometimes these ratings are. So Volks is our second highest rated player at 70 overall, right? He's hardly played for us. He's had a -1 downgrade as he drops, but I would argue that we've got midfielders that should be equal to that rating. I'm not slating the man. It's good. He's definitely someone you'll use. If you're trying to make a Wednesday team, you'll put him in there. In Ultimate Team, 54 pace isn't ideal. That's drop 1. But I don't know. I just don't see him being our second highest player, but he is. That's the way it works sometimes. It is worth mentioning he will be a career mode gem because he's got dives into tackles, long passer, long shot taker, and giant throw, and he's only 29. So I say this, I will use him, definitely. And then, of course, we have to talk about the massive travesty. A man who got an 88 rated Team of the Season card gets a -1 overall rating from 73 to 72. It's Barry Bannon. This is ridiculous. Why downgrade a player that had a Team of the Season card and has been fantastic? Again, in the game, he'll be fantastic for you. He's got the leadership trait, the flair trait, the long passer trait, the long shot taker trait, the playmaker trait, and he's got the team player trait. He's got traits coming out of everywhere as Barry Bannon, but he's had a -1. His pace has gone up 3. 60 to 63. His shooting stayed the same at 64. His passing's dropped 1. His dribbling's dropped 1. Ridiculous to 75. Defending stayed the same and physicality stayed the same. But again, it must be that shift in there because something's gone somewhere where it's dropped his rating, whether they're weighting it differently. But again, he'll be solid for you this season. If you use him in your first couple of career mode seasons, I'm just really annoyed he got a downgrade because it doesn't make sense with the Team of the Season card. He should have, if anything, he should have been a 74 rated, but they probably didn't want to go that high in League One. They're really weird with the 70 ratings. There's not much in between it. It's very odd. Right, let's talk about our attacking players. The first attacking player is Callum Patterson. Where did we put him last season? 64 overall this season. We played him at centre-back in the career. He's got the power header and the giant throwing trait. He's a striker with 64 finishing. However, his physicality stats are amazing because in the meta, he's 84 strength, 88 jumping, 77 stamina, 78 aggression. He's a striker that if you convert him to a centre-back will be 63. So he will actually, he did get an increase, by the way, on last FIFA. We can't ignore the fact that this is a massive drop because he was a 69 rated striker last season who became a 70 rated centre-back if you changed him to centre-back. It's a bit stupid. His pace has took a 7 hit, though. He's gone from 70. His shooting's dropped 2. His passing's dropped 5. His dribbling's dropped 2. His defence has dropped by 11. Going to ruin the centre-back thing, really. Because his defending was 66 as a striker. And his physicality has dropped from 83 to 81, even though his physicality is still really good. Just convert him to a centre-back and be done with it. All right. Our next forward is Lee Gregory, who is unfortunately still unusable, is even more unusable now. I couldn't really get on with him last season in-game. Despite I used his inform card a bit. He got an inform, but they've killed his pace this year. It's gone from 66 to 51. It's 67 overall, but it still doesn't mean much. His shooting's gone up to 67. It's not a good one for Gregory, this, really. His physicality's jumped from 76 to 79, but that pace is going to kill him, really. I'm going to do attacking players and strikers together, so we're going to do Alex Mighton now, who is obviously on loan from Nottingham Forest. He's got the technical dribbler trait. His pace is fantastic. 84 pace, 85 acceleration, 84 sprint speed, 67 overall. He's definitely someone you're going to use in that first season in career mode, because why not? He's had a slight drop in his pace this season by the looks of it, but his card's pretty much the same from last season. One you probably won't be able to afford straight away, but 4-star skills in League One is not too bad. 20 years old, career mode. Gem this one potentially, Alex Mighton, and maybe he's somebody that gets released now. Forest are in the Prem, so worth keeping an eye on him for your career mode and even your FIFA Ultimate Team. He's getting in there, isn't he? Because you're playing a winger, so he's getting in there. Michael Smith has got the solid player trait and the long shot taker trait. He is a 68 overall, which is an upgrade. I've not said that too much this video, but he's got an upgrade to a 68 from a 67 last season. Fair play to him as well. That's what getting all those goals actually gets you, eventually, I guess. But his pace has dropped. Again, killed him in game. 58 pace to 51 pace. His pace was already useless anyway, so you weren't using him as a pacey lad. But 65 shooting's gone up to 68. Useful, really, there. I can't see him leading my line for too long in game, especially with 49 sprint speed and 53 acceleration. But I'll take the 90 strength. Finishing 69. Nice. There's 2 of those in that. Can you have 2 of those in a video? We'll deal. Malik Wilkes, 68 rated, 23-year-old striker. Silver card again. Pace in the game is 83, 85 acceleration, 82 sprint speed. He's got the flair trait and the long shot taker trait. He's got alternate positions of right midfielder, left midfielder, centre forward, 3-star skills, 2-star weak foot, high/low work rates. He's a left footer. He's going to be absolutely ridiculous in career mode with his potential if it's similar to what it was last season. He's had a downgrade. Don't get me wrong, he starts as 69 rated last season, but he's pure potential. Forget about, you'll use him in career mode in Ultimate Team because he's our pacey striker. You'll stick him up front if you're making a Wednesday team again. But you just want him for career mode. I'm not exaggerating when I say I got him to like 86 rated after being with us for a few seasons, and we're in the Prem, and I sold him for about 100 million because he just got to a point of being in the England squad and scoring loads of goals. And I sold him for £100 million. And he's our player. It's a career mode gem. Use him. Then we've got Josh Windass, who has got a lot of pace, a pace upgrade actually. 87 from 86 last season. His shooting stayed the same at 67. 64 passing, 71 dribbling. That's gone up 1, 35 defending, and 65 physical has dropped to 60. So that's unfortunate on that front, but he has picked with the injury-prone trait. Might say something there. He's a long shot taker and a speed dribbler. 3-star skills, 3-star weak foot. Alternate positions are centre forward. Acceleration is 89 and sprint speed is 85. His balance is 83. I'd put Josh Windass on the wing somewhere, or put Josh Windass in the middle and put Wilkes out on one of the wings. It's probably the best way to go about it, really, if you're building a team. But Windass is very usable in-game purely because of his pace. Honourable mention for a player that's not with us anymore. Sam Hutchinson's also had a -1 downgrade. Just thought I'd mention those because that is it for the Wednesday players, by the way. I'm just having a look if there's any interesting ones other than Hutchinson. Joe Wildsmith at Derby has been absolutely ruined. He was a 67 rated last season. He's now gone down to 63 as a bronze at Derby. He's got the team player trait. I mean, I've got all the time in the world for Wildsmith, Wednesday lad, that sort of thing, but that's an interesting one to give to a player that's just transferred, unless I'm completely off base with how they actually give that out, which is a distinct possibility. Silaso's had a -3 rating. He's a 63 rated, just for all you out there who were clearly losing sleep over it. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave the Sheffield Wednesday rating review. We've not had gold players in so long. I did these when we had gold players. But that is how football works. Let me know what you think of the Sheffield Wednesday FIFA 23 ratings in the comments. What are the travesties? What is fair, really? I think there's quite a bit of unfairness across the board in terms of League One. If I look at it, really, the way some of the downgrades have happened, but it happens. We know this when you're in this game, but we've got some career mode gems. Let's pretend. Let's get in career mode, live in a pretend land, and make like we can get that road to glory going again. But for now, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, do all those things, and keep watching right here on Dexterity Box.